Congratulations, Coach. Goes up to tie for 8th with Terry Bowden on the all-time, or the active FBS coaching victories.
Well, that's nice.
With 180.
That'll get Miss Reed to give me a nice hug.
Yeah. And as you know, we set a new Conference USA rushing record.
Well, that was great. And Miss Raquel always gets donuts for the coaches and staff. She'll get them for the old linemen because they always mention when they get, I don't know how many yards it is, but they want donuts. But we'll give them donuts for tomorrow's meeting. But really proud of the guys. Played hard. They've got some talented players, and we knew that. And our guys, we had an open week. But more importantly, I thought our seniors and our players for our seniors were dialed in to play really hard. It's a great atmosphere, good crowd, great weather, and obviously we didn't play perfect, but every guy that got in there, from my vantage point, was playing really hard, and that's kind of how that's kind of the trademark of our program, at least we think it is.
Questions?
Obviously, you guys done your part, but this next week there's going to be a lot of talks about that. If you guys are going to be able to get in that bowl game, how are you planning to handle that with the team?
Yeah, we like I said before, we call our meeting rooms the truth rooms. I deal with them straight. I don't BS them. This is what is happening. I'll tell the guys, listen, the NCAA doesn't have a lot of common sense at times. They don't have common sense legislation. In this case, it's common sense legislation that, if you're doing, all the things you're supposed to do, especially in a second year of transition like us in James Madison, you should be automatically eligible for a bowl game, and if you go out and get enough wins, you should be eligible to win playing the conference championship. But we knew what it is going in, so I'm not going to bitch about it and cry about it all day. But I'm hopeful that things will work out, that there won't be enough teams to qualify and we'll be in, because I think our seniors and our guys deserve it. But we want to finish strong. We want to be able to at least have the record that finishes second, I guess, in the league if we can win next week. But it's been an amazing season, and amazing to see how these guys have bought into the culture and during this transition, because we're still not, I've said this before, and we're still not where we're going to be in the next couple of years when our facility's done and our recruiting gets ramped up and all that. But we got a bunch of little guys that play pretty hard, and that's what I'm proud of.
Where is, you said that a couple of times, we're not where we're going to be. What is the potential?
Yeah, I think, obviously we've got a lot of work to do. From a budget standpoint, from a facility standpoint, we're trying, and the school is trying to get us to where we need to be, somewhere in the middle, so we can, so it's not as hard all the time to try to compete. But it's hard on the group of 5 level. It's always going to be hard. But this could be it is a special place. It could be even more special. And I'm competitive enough. Our coaches are competitive enough to keep pushing what we need so we can win. It sounds silly. Miss Reedy can tell you, my happiness is based on winning. It's more than that, I know, of course, but in my job, you're judged based on winning. And that's, I'm miserable, way too miserable when we lose, and probably don't enjoy the wins enough, but I'm going to try to enjoy this one. And I want our players to, when we got another one, and hopefully a bowl game. But there's, at least I think I know what it looks like, a successful Division I program. And I think I've got support within the school and outside the school that wants to do that as well.
It sounds like you're happy here. What is your reaction when you hear a former player like Pat McAfee put your name out for jobs?
Thanks, Pat. You trying to give me a raise? I won't ever get Pat McAfee kind of money, but Pat's one of my guys. If somebody's mentioning you for a job in a good way, that's a good thing, right? It means you're us having, your program is doing okay. You don't want it to be on the other way. I've been on the other way before. I didn't get Jimbo buyout money, but it's a great place. When I came here, I didn't have, I knew a little bit about it, but understand, geez, the football's important. There's great people. It's a great town. We got a wonderful house. I got my daughter, who's the best content creator, graphic person in the country. So somebody don't try to hire her away. Mom won't let her. And so it's a great situation. I got a good staff too. I think I'm biased. I don't think there's a better group of 5 staff in the country. So I want to keep them. So that's a plea right here to the school. Make sure I keep my coaches.
And how do you kind of handle those rumors? Honestly, you said it kind of comes with being good, but how do you handle that?
Yeah, I've been head coach for 26 years. I've been handling it for a while in a good way sometimes, but I don't think you'd never, yeah, you gotta be honest with your people if somebody's talking or you're interested in something, whatever. But I'm 100% dialed in to what we're doing. I'm still calling plays. And so if you're calling plays, you don't have idle time. Like, a lot of head coaches don't call plays, and I don't blame them for not. But because I'm still calling plays, I better be dialed in 100% on watching film and getting our offense ready.
Why do you still want to call plays?
Good question. And I trust my guys on offense. I got 2 or 3 of them could call them as well. And Rod Smith, my coordinator, he can, we're talking the same language all the time. He's finishing my sentences. So, but I enjoy that part of it. And I probably know the offense better than anybody because I created it. But I also, I promise you, there's not a week that goes by that I don't study somebody else and see what they're doing. Like, there were 4 plays in this game that I saw somebody else do, and I'm like, gee, why aren't we doing this? And so we added it into our package. So if there's something that we can do that keeps it simple for our players, but creates a little conflict for our defenses, then I'm gonna constantly look at that. But I've got a staff that does that as well, but I enjoy that part of it, It'd be easier not to have that burden, but I enjoy it. And I know it's a lot easier to call plays at success when you got really good players. And I got some really good players, and we're gonna get some more.
You talked ahead of this game about, hoping that Malik would be healthy, after the last couple games. How great, what does he mean, I guess, for this offense, but also just on a personal level? Obviously, you had a relationship with him before this year. Just how good is it to see him be able to finish like this?
Yeah, it's really nice to have a guy come for 1 year. And we tried to get him before, and my son played with him, and I think he was working on it to come here too. So, having that relationship for him, just thinking so much of him, coaching him, I just like not only like coaching because of his ability, but who he was. I mean, just a great young man. So when he came, I wanted to make sure that he enjoyed the experience. And I think he has, even up to this point. But to this game, I didn't realize he had that many yards. For him to finish his last home game with that kind of impact, I mean, that's forever for him, and he deserves that.
If you had known he was 7 yards away from 200, would you have given him another carry?
No.
Okay.
If it was the last game with no chance of another game next week in a bowl game, yeah, maybe. But I really, guys were telling me the school rushing record, whatever. No, I don't really do things for records. Now, guys asked to try to get the ball snapped real quick at the end. I yelled at him. But it is, it's kind of nice to have a record. Sometimes you look back at it 10, 20 years from now, and they'll get embellished, 10 years from now, they'll say, yeah, we rushed for 500 in the first half. No, but it was a good performance against a pretty athletic team.
Just in your second season here, you have the offensive line as well, just kind of the same group of guys. Just what does Traylon and those 4 guys mean to this?
Yeah, Trey Brown has been a good senior leader of the offensive line as I've ever had, just from his personality, taking accountability, helping the guys out, talking to them. He's done a good job of that. And again, I had a couple seniors in the locker room. I had told our senior classes, you're one of the best senior class in history of school, and I didn't know I had a couple seniors from last year's class there. They said, Coach, what about us? I said, maybe I said the same thing last year too. I don't know. But no, we've had the reason that we're having a little bit of success in this transition is because of the culture that's here, and the culture is set by the players. And coaches give them direction, but the players are the ones that set the culture day in and day out. And last year's class was great. This year, 11 seniors, they're great. So if they, I hope they get to finish with a bowl game. That would be a really nice thing for finishing our seniors. It'd be the first ever Jack State football team, senior class to go to the bowl game.
Got time for one more question.
Why was this a cigar game?
I forgot all about it. We normally have the rivalry, right? And Kennesaw wasn't on the schedule, so I think it's J-Ro and Zion came up a few days ago and said, Coach, we haven't had a cigar game. And I'm like, oh, this is our last chance. We don't want to do it on the road. They might get pissed if we smoke in their locker room, you know what I mean? Now, we clean up the locker rooms, but we don't. So they made it this one. I'm like, perfect. This is a big game. We'll do it here, our last home game, and thankfully we're lighting a few up.
All right.
Obviously, it was a senior night game. How did you manage to play in time for all of the seniors today?
Well, that's a good question. The easy part about managing this, all the seniors played. They're all starters or considered starters. So it wasn't like a guy he was a backup or just maybe on special teams. All of them were guys that were in the rotation and regular, so we didn't even have to worry about it at the end of the game. We got to put this senior in. They were already in the plan.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay.